Welcome to Season 7 of A Little Birdie Told Me with rollercoaster.ie. I'm your host, Rebecca Horan, and on episode 5, I'm talking to stylist Justine King. Sponsored by Optimal Follow On. We believe that every feed is a gift. That's why we've dedicated over 50 years to breast milk research. Optimal Follow On milk, your life, our science. Breastfeeding is best. Follow On milk should be used as part of a mixed diet from 6 months. Talk to a health professional. And if you like this episode, it would be a great help if you could like it, share it, and subscribe to the podcast. On this episode, I have stylist Justine King, who I've known for a long time and kind of see at things and admired greatly, and I'm thrilled to get her in here. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Justine heads up to me. She was like, I've done a lot of podcasts about my birth story, which was quite unique. And I think very unique if you think of the percentage of women who go through what you went through. And, you know, what do I have to... I'm like, don't worry about it. People want to hear this. They want to hear about you. I think how you balance your career, your hustle, how hard you work, the longevity of your career. And you have 2 kids that are like 4 and nearly 1. Mm-hmm. That's a lot.
It is a lot. It's been a busy few years. I kind of can't believe I have a nearly 4-year-old. Yeah, and it all happened during COVID. So there's so much that I'm like coming out of things going, do I blame COVID for that? Or do I blame the fact that I just had 2 babies in that space at that time? Yeah, totally. But there's been big changes. Yeah, I think back to my life 4 years ago was very different.
When is your Bobo turning 4?
So April.
Yeah, so mine is August. I think we were similarly having, and I find the 4 freaky because I feel like 4 is a kid.
Yeah.
I feel like 3 is still a Bobo.
He won't be going to school this year, but it feels like a school. Like I was 4 starting school.
Yeah,
it's suddenly, it's big.
Big girl stuff.
Whereas the other one turning 1, I don't feel the same way. I'm kind of like, 1 is still a baby.
Oh,
so,
total baby.
Yeah.
And well done. Like, you look incredible. Your head is with us. You're like, a 1-year-old is still very much in the trenches, in my opinion.
I know. I think the second time I found it easier to get back to myself.
But what about sleep?
Oh, he's a brutal sleeper. Yeah.
Brutal?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my first was a dream sleeper, slept through the night at 10, 11 weeks, never looked back. And I just thought I was a really good parent. I was like, obviously I just did. I read Lucy Wolf's book and I did it right. No, the second child had different ideas. So he's
still you did have a good sleeper on the first, which set you up for good mental health.
Totally.
Postpartum journey.
Set me up for thinking I wanted loads of kids.
Yeah.
And now we have a child who, he's getting better, but I didn't have to sleep train the first or do any of that. And we've done all of that with the second one. And he's still not quite there, but he's grand. Like he's adorable during the day, thank God. So, yeah.
So what is it? He's like waking in spurts. He's just not, it's just exhausted.
So the first 6 months I had him in the bed. I co-slept. Mm-hmm. He breastfed through the night and I slept. So I sidelined.
Because you're like, whatever.
Yeah. And it was second baby. I was so relaxed. So I was like, I got a dream sleeper. I'm sleeping really well with a newborn whole 6 months. And then 6 months in, he started to get more mobile. We were like, okay, we kind of need like him to get him out of the bed at some point. Didn't want to co-sleep forever. Tried to move him into a cot and that's where it all...
Shit show.
Yeah.
So didn't vibe it. No. More attached?
They're both very attached.
Okay, so it's just him.
Yeah. And then now, like, he'll go, he used to do, like, we had one point he woke up 14 times a night.
I remember that with Simone.
Yeah. From when you put him down at 7, like, half 7, 8, half 8.
Brutal.
Yeah. By the time you've gone to bed, you're like, I feel like we've done a whole night.
I feel like you've been at 3 weddings, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, how were you then functioning or were you not?
I was. I mean, I had to. I was still working and everything. But, yeah, I actually at the same time had just started working out with a trainer and I was eating really well, like protein-wise.
Great.
And I'm so glad I was because I genuinely think that kept my energy up. I wasn't eating crap and I had someone to report into, so it meant I wasn't reaching for the biscuit tin. You know, I don't know.
It's what you're consuming, what you're around, what you're eating. All of that stuff also keeps us on this lovely high energy level.
And part of it is the daily walk. So like I had to do that as part of the training. So it got me out and I think it actually kept me really mentally okay during that time.
So you're eating well, you're nourishing your little bod and then things were better.
Yeah, I think so. And then now we have good day. He does sleep through the night sometimes. And then we have other nights, like last night where he just wants to be in the bed with me. So you creep back into bad habits.
So when you're kind of in the public eye and going on the telly and putting stuff out there and it's image based, you know, I'm not saying that you have to look like you're going on the Oscars red carpet, but it is very much about you helping women either get back on their feet or maintain a style or find a new style, whatever that is. You are very much about the aesthetic and always have been. Did you struggle with your identity on having babies and or not at all?
Yeah, the first one definitely. So I was pregnant, say from summer 2020, so all through COVID. I remember losing my sense of style in pregnancy because I think we all lost our sense of style in COVID. We'd all been in leggings at that point for like a year or whatever. I just borrowed loads of my sister's maternity clothes, which weren't necessarily my style, but I thought as soon as you had a bump, you just wore maternity clothes, as opposed to being like, you could just size up, or like you could just wear something oversized. So I feel like I didn't feel myself for that pregnancy. My skin was brutal on my first pregnancy. I had acne. Did you? Yeah. Acne
Not
all
for
over
my
my
second.
face. Yeah, same.
I had nice skin for my second.
Yeah. So
but
I didn't have the glow.
I'm a prone to that oily bright, which means we'll have great skin and our old day, but I'm very prone to that. And I do remember with Gia just being so spotty and really being upset by it.
Yeah, and then once I had him, because I was breastfeeding, couldn't go on the pill or anything, having awful skin. So I look back at those tiny baby photos and I'm like, I just don't look nice because I have bad skin.
You don't feel yourself.
Yeah, so all of those things combined, I feel like I lost my sense of a lot of myself maybe in the first pregnancy and then into early motherhood. But again, it was still COVID. I think a lot of women, whether you had a baby in that time or not, felt in lockdown. They lost their sense of identity. And then going into my second, I was like, that's not going to happen. So like that in maternity, a lot of it was just sizing up. I wear a lot of oversized clothes, so I might have bought maternity jeans. And then when I had him, I was like, okay, I'm getting back to feeling like myself. Yeah. So as I say, working out with that, trainer, self-love revolution, she's helped me to kind of get back to myself. And now I feel, what am I, nearly a year postpartum, better than I did a year postpartum on the first.
But holding true to the fact that just because we have kids, we don't lose the fact that we love clothes. We love putting on a bit of makeup, or we love working out. Like that, thank God, from back in the day when our parents were having babies, we just really care.
Yeah.
About those things.
Yeah, and I think and I always say this to women, it's altering what you spend your money on when it comes to your clothes. So if you are a mom, if you're working from home and you're not finding you need to be buying the sparkly dresses or the super high heels anymore because you don't go out on a Saturday night, it's spending money on like the trainers you really want, or, the shacket or the jeans and the stuff that you're wearing. So your everyday clothes is what you're spending your money on if you're no longer spending it on, these amazing social occasions once you become a mum.
Yeah, because you're just not getting out as much anyway. There's no point.
But how many
and
of
it's
us...
there's one or two, isn't it? There's one or two edgy, like I was like, your jacket's great. And you can have the really nice pair of trainers. It doesn't have to be what everyone else has. And those little pieces combined with a great coat, particularly in Ireland where, to be honest, we're not sitting around in bikinis. And a great blow dry and you're done.
Yeah. That's what I feel. Like that's what I've spent on my coat, my boots, and then everything else in between.
What are your favourite pieces for... I know you've an event today, but what are your favourite pieces for feeling really Justine? Like hot?
So I'm wearing right now these Chanel boots that I bought on Vestiaire. So my new thing with pre-loved, I've always been into pre-loved, but I've gone really into it. And it's that I'm getting rid of loads of my clothes and I'm only using that money to buy the new clothes. So it's trying to keep it all I'm buying it all secondhand.
That's amazing. I'm a devil for getting my PayPal money in from Depop and then just spending on shite and Zara. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, so and even with Vinted, like keeping it in the balance there. Yeah. So it's the same when I'm buying my kids' clothes now, all designer for €5 and €8 for Ralph Lauren and everything on Vinted. But these boots were 500 quid and I was like, right, I need to sell 500 quid worth of clothes. And I did. By the time they arrived 2 weeks later, I had sold, a few Anina Bing jumpers that I amn't really wearing and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really nice way to shop.
It's kind of feels really free. Nice way. It does feel a bit like, and it is like you're saying, circular. And there's a story. I got a ski suit recently. I was like, I wonder what they've done in this ski suit. And
totally, yeah. And even with the kids stuff, I'm now finding I'm like, I'm no longer going to H&M and Zara to buy stuff that won't even wear that well,
wash that well.
My 4-year-old's now in head to toe Ralph Lauren, all secondhand, all cost under a tenner on Vinted. And yeah, we probably look like we won the lottery in Crash like when he goes in, but it's all cheap. Yeah.
What other pieces? So you're talking about the boots, a good jean, like what else do you care about? Jeans, a blazer, a jumper, like what do you care about?
I don't think you have to spend a fortune on jeans. Like I'm wearing Topshop Editor. Again, they were secondhand and I recently picked up 2 pairs in the charity shop. One were Acne, one were APC. So you don't have to buy them new, but they also don't have to be those designer brands. I think jeans are so subjective and it's down to finding the right one and then buying them in every colour.
And our body, it's so funny. Like your mate can have a similar body to you. You can be like, she's similar height and curves and then the mom jeans she wears are just repulsive. And then you could wear the boyfriend ones and she's like, how the hell? Our bodies are so different.
So
the
different.
Bones, our structure, our hips, how we like things, our tummies. And so, you can rock those, someone else won't be able to. Totally. So with the jean thing, it's a freaking minefield. You have to go in, try, yes. Correct?
Always. I put these Topshop Editor and I once had 1,000 swipe ups on them. And the amount of people, not everyone bought them obviously, but that said either, wow, thank you, they just arrived, they're my favourite jeans, or they are horrendous on me, I hate them. So it's just different body, it's different heights, it's what you wear with your jeans. It is subjective, unfortunately. There's no right answer as to what the best jeans are.
Dream outfit, if I invited you to something today, is it always a dress or is it pants? Like what is your dream vibe?
I'm definitely a jeans girl.
Okay.
Yeah, so God, it depends what it is.
Like afternoon party, like a thing in a garden that's kind of fancy, but you want to be yourself still.
Okay, I wouldn't necessarily wear jeans. I might wear a dress to that, but I'm not just a dress girl. I would love a jean and a sock boot and then something...
Sock boot, lovely, yes.
Yeah, something nice on top, like a blouse or something would be my... That's what I feel.
So really awesome top is your key.
Yeah, yeah, and then well-fitting jeans and... Yeah, it's all about balancing proportions with me. I have big boobs and...
But you're little, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of know what works, but...
Accessories?
I love some accessories, but I don't go wild
You're not
with my
mental.
accessories. No, I'd just be a gold girl.
I didn't know that you had big boobs, and I'm not going to stare at you now, Justine. I'll do it after. But your boobs, as in proportion to the fact that you're quite petite, you feel are big. Have you always, when you're being a stylist and you're talking to women, like, is that a struggle for you to dress? How do you dress big boobs? Because I feel like I have huge boobs, but they're not that
Irish women tend to have big boobs, right?
I never heard this statement. This is the funniest.
Do.
Really?
We have big boobs, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And it's funny,
Why don't we breastfeed more?
I have a side business.
Controversial.
My side business, Mama's Armour, I sell silver cups for breastfeeding, right? When I was getting them from the supplier, they do A to C and D+. And I'm going to get loads of D+, especially breastfeeding women have bigger boobs at the time.
Boobs, yeah.
And my supplier, who's in Asia, was going, no, like, I don't know why you're ordering so many of the big ones. And I'm like, you haven't met Irish breastfeeding women.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
We do tend to have big boobs. Not all women, of course. Yeah, so I mean, I'm always on Instagram talking about good things for big boobs. Or Ireland AM, they probably think I'm a perv because I'm constantly saying, like
boobs.
this cut is great for big boobs. But you need to know if you've big boobs how to dress them. So
What are your no-nos?
with big boobs.
Yeah, go on, because we don't know.
Okay, avoid too much ruffle and detail across that area. This is only if you're conscious of your big boobs. If you love showing your big boobs,
But if
totally.
you don't want
if
it
you want
out
to
there,
detract
yeah.
attention, then you tend to avoid like your heavy prints and the loudest part of your outfit to be where the eye is going to be drawn. So
Okay.
if it's across the boob, avoid that. If you're happy to show off your big boobs, show them off.
Okay.
And then I would often think just be careful with button ups. It just depends on where the button falls, if it's going to gape.
Yes, the gaping. It's when you're like, it's kind of sweet, but it's actually just sitting badly.
Yeah. And then sometimes one button down when you
Yeah.
have big boobs, people go, oh wow, the boobs are out. Whereas
And
if you
you're
have a
like,
smaller
I'm not
chest,
trying
no one
to-
exactly
yeah.
would notice. I mean, some people would think that horizontal stripes, but like it's all down to if you want to
Color,
detract from
do
the
you
boobs.
kind of you feel like don't just sit in your black, have your color, but just be careful about that? Pale is pale bad? Does it make you look bigger? No.
No, pale shouldn't make you look bigger. And I think women are obsessed with black. And if you want the slimming colours, like navy is a much more warm tone
Okay.
to
Love a
wear
bit
for
of
most
navy.
people. Yeah, if you have a cooler skin tone, which a lot of Irish people do, navy is much more flattering because it's got a kind of reddy undertone, just as slimming as black. But I wouldn't be afraid of colour at all. And if you are conscious of certain body types or body parts, avoid colour in those areas. But that doesn't mean you can't have a colourful sleeve or colourful necklace or something if you are more conscious. But yeah, I wouldn't be too afraid of colour making you look much bigger either.
How the hell? So I knew Justine's sister, and you went off and studied. We did our drama. We all did our thing. How the hell did you get into styling and fashion? And what? Because your sister was extremely stylish. I know you were. Is your mom like? Tell me about the trajectory to being in fashion.
Yeah, I mean, my mum is really stylish.
Yes.
Not that she ever did anything like, professionally with that.
But she always you always looked together and finished. Like when everyone else was a teen, looking a bit mental. You guys always had a look.
God, I was probably just wearing my two older sisters' clothes.
Maybe, yeah.
For me, I honestly did not think of fashion as a career whatsoever. I studied drama and sociology in Trinity. I got into costume design through that. That was part of the drama course, right? So I did one of my majors where it was in costume design. Loved when they gave me a brief, as in like, this is the play, go off to the charity shops, your budget is €100.
So you were doing this fucking Finding and Magpie stuff then?
Yes, but I didn't know that was... I just didn't know what a fashion stylist was, considering I was at this point like 18, 19, 20. Nowadays with TikTok and everything, people know when they're 10 what a fashion stylist does. So I loved that, hated when they made me make the costumes. So I was like, right, costume designer's out, can't do that. Went off to New York on my J1, did a fashion PR internship, and there was like, oh, what's that girl doing? She's just coming in. They were like, she's a stylist. She just picks the clothes. And I was like, oh my God. But I thought that was an American thing. Didn't think it was Irish.
No one in Ireland does stuff
so
like
came
that.
back, finished my degree, was moving to America to do this. Interned with an amazing stylist over there who became Rihanna's stylist while I was there. So worked on amazing stuff. Again, moved home after my year visa was up, being like, need to just save and get back to America. And then Ireland AM were doing a call out for Ireland's next top stylist for Oasis
Stop it.
shop. Yeah. And I entered it while my mum was like, I thought you were moving back to America. And I was like, I'll enter this thing anyway. And through that, won that. And then...
Stop it, I didn't know that.
And then was Oasis stylist for a while, but through that started doing Expose, Ireland AM, and then was like, oh, that's the part I love. So
Just getting profile, getting to be on the thing.
yeah, the TV stuff I loved. And yeah,
Did you miss
kind of from there.
Expose when it stopped?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I moved straight from Expose onto Ireland AM. And there's a lot of benefits to Ireland AM being live. You're not waiting for it to air.
No, I know.
But we were only talking about this, me and the models, the other day. I suppose it was a great show. It was great to work on. Yeah, it
Lovely
was.
women.
Yeah.
Great crack, great things.
Yeah.
There needs to be one of those again, and there will be, I'm sure, in some kind of realm, whether it's digital or whether it's, but there needs, we have a missing void.
The amount of women that say to me, or girls even that say, like, my mum, the only thing she ever watched on TV was that, and she has no replacement. Like, so yeah, it was great. It was great times.
And then straight into Ireland AM, and then all your own personal styling.
All the styling on the side.
Is it a hustle? Is it hard?
It is a hustle, yeah. I would say that, like...
Do you feel like the market is... there's a lot of you wonderfully stylish ladies trying to help us all, because there's a lot of help.
Yeah, I think I'm really lucky to have Ireland AM, because that's I do it twice a month. That's my kind of... I know that's happening twice a month. And then everything else is like, some months are super busy, some months are quieter on the side. Since becoming a mum, I think the... like work-life balance I really like about it. I love that I get to be with my kids so much and only have to work.
Go on.
You know, a certain amount of hours.
Give me the secret to this. I've been literally, this new season, I'm pulling from women about, like I said to you in inverted commas, the balance. Because I think like that's just not achievable. Because even if you're with your kids all the time, there's never balance. Like, but how do you go from chaos and mad hustle, like I'm very much in this corporate world, to the zen of just, I want to be with my kids, make my bit of money, have my creative space. Like, how did you find that?
I think it took some getting used to once I had the kids to like not spend the days where I didn't have a job on looking for work. Like now I'm just like, I kind of can sit back a little bit and just be like, the work will come, you know, and you have to do a little bit obviously of emailing, hey, I'm still available. Or I have people who say to me, are you still on mat leave?
You're less crazy about it because you know that there's another time that you'll do it.
Yeah, or I don't look on Instagram anymore and go, oh my God, she got that job or she got invited to that thing.
But that's growing. I think that's actually just evolving and growing up. And I
think so.
And like you're much younger than me. What age are you?
37.
Yeah, so I'm 41 now. And I do think that all starts in your late 30s. You're just like, I don't care. I'm happy for her. But in your 20s, you're like, how?
I used to go on holidays and I'd be going, oh my God, I can't believe
she got the gig. And I'm away here. And
just because I'm in wherever I am. Yeah, now I don't care. I'm like, it all comes swings and roundabouts. Yeah. So yeah, and then I set up 2 side businesses in the last couple of years since having the kids, really. Grayson and Goose, which is kids polarized sunglasses and beanie hats. So just kids accessories.
Clever little, how the hell did you come up with that? Go on.
The polarized sunglasses was kind of a
Such
need.
a little businesswoman.
It's just, and they're very much side businesses and I like them to be, like people have said to me, would you like them?
How did you start Grayson and Goose?
We actually needed them. The summer that Harley was born was a really sunny summer. And I remember just being like, we really need baby sunglasses. And I started with babies and now I go up to 11 years. And then the winter came and it was really popular from straight away. And then when the winter came, obviously people don't need sunglasses. So I started these beanie hats where you can swap the pom-poms between the different hats. So we've 24 different pom-poms and 10 different hats.
Love that. I need to get one of these.
Yeah. And we do them right up to adults.
My daughter loves that she can take her...
Yeah, to swap them out and like for especially little girls, they love like the mix and match. So that just has taken off, but it's very much a side business, but it means the weeks that I don't have much styling on, I have income coming in. And I really wanted an income that when I'm asleep, I can make money. I'm conscious that the job that I do, if I go away for 2 weeks, you don't make a cent for 2 weeks. You know that way.
Do you feel like you're very dependent on your husband? The financials are very much him and you just do your thing. Do you care about that?
No, we're completely 50-50. I can't do the like relinquish.
Can you not?
No,
that's so interesting, Justine.
I'm a real feminist, so I'm very... Now, we had to a little bit, especially when I had my second.
But you like having your own money.
Oh, yeah, and I like contributing.
And you would never not like to have your own money.
No, if I won the lottery, I would not work. Yeah, no,
This is fascinating.
Couldn't.
Okay, so it's not like he's running the show and you're dicking around doing...
No, definitely not.
This is I'm a woman in business.
Yeah, no, I have to. I couldn't have it the other way. I couldn't like... I think it works. I have friends who do it different ways or friends who put everything into a joint pot and everything. No, we put a set amount each into the joint account and then we have our own accounts as well.
And did your mom work at home or work
No, she was in the home and she did work at various times, but my dad was definitely the breadwinner. And that arrangement, I often think that traditional arrangement actually works better in some ways.
Why? Because people aren't
when
pulled.
People knew their defined roles.
Yes.
I was talking to my mum about this and she was like, I didn't resent your dad.
Because this is my job.
Yeah.
And that was his job.
Yeah, and like my dad he worked a lot of hours during the week and then he golfed every Saturday. And my mum said, I fully thought he needs the break. I would, if I had been at home all week with these kids and even if he was the breadwinner and he turned around and said he's going off on Saturday and leaving me with the kids again, I'd lose my mind. But she was like, we kind of just knew that was the way it was. I was in the home, he was
She was
working.
never resentful.
No, and it worked. So yeah, sometimes I think...
I agree, and I don't like agreeing it because I, like, as you know, feminists shouting out about I'm starting to wonder about choices we make when our kids are little. I think when they're in secondary school, and I'm not saying that their needs aren't needed to be met, because they have so many different needs then, and we know that teenage realm is dangerous and scary and all of the things and beautiful, but that there's definitely different needs, and they start to find their own lives, right? But now, until I think they're about 11 or 12, and I have little ones, as I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, they do need us, right? And so we're all trying to make money. It's a really expensive country. We all want to use our degrees, but something's amiss with the fact that there's a 5-dayer parent and a 5-dayer parent, and there's these little things in between that need this care. And you're saying, well, one of you has to do this and one of you has to, and I do agree with you, and I fucking hate that I agree with you on that. But it's something I've thought about a lot lately. I'm like, this is why we're busy fools.
Yes. And I think
and the money's going on childcare.
Yeah, and as a freelance parent, and then one who works, I say 9 to 5, no job is really a 9 to 5, 9 to 7, whatever it is. When a child gets sick, now, if I had Ireland AM, that's different. If I have something like set, but if it's a case of I've loads of admin to do tomorrow and our child gets sick, like that's realistically, he has a boss. Yeah. So he goes, I gotta go to work. See, yes, I hate to leave you in the lurch, and off he goes. Yeah. Because that's the nature of it, and I have to adjust everything in my whole week. So that's tricky. Yeah. It's not as if I don't work. I do, but mine is much more flexible, and therefore you end up doing
all of it.
Yeah, when shit hits the fan, like you end up being the one that has to move everything around. So that's hard.
What's the hope or goal? Like what when they're a little bit older? Like you've literally a tiny little 1-year-old, but what is the hope? Like obviously the business is to grow and you're starting, but what would you love to do? Would you like to be in-house somewhere? Would you like to have your own show? Like what do you want to do with this fashion career?
Because no, I definitely never want to work for anyone else.
No.
Yeah, no, I've realised that. I've done stints over the years, even a couple of days a week for other people, and it's just not for me. I think if I had a set place to go to every day, I'd have to own the business. I just think that's my personality, to be honest. And I've gotten so used to being like never having to ask for a day off, or, can I go in late on Monday? That's down to me. So I just think at this point I couldn't do that. I really at the moment don't want to not be a stylist. So people have said that to me about the side businesses. And the other one I set up, was Mama's Armour, which was when I was breastfeeding. I felt the need, or I realised the need for a breastfeeding cover. So I set these like cool designs, and I said I did the silver cups.
Who inspires you to set up your own business? Was your dad? Like, who was industrious?
My dad is entrepreneurial. Okay. He didn't necessarily run loads of businesses, but he was always someone who, I think I've inherited that from him, would think like, well, why couldn't I do that? Like that kind of attitude of just like, I wouldn't worry, like I couldn't do something. I'm just like, well, try it. Fling it, give it a go. And if it fails, it fails. So yeah. And Connor's always like, I feel like you have more in you, as in like, you have an entrepreneurial spirit and you need to do something that's going to be big. And who knows if I ever will, or if it'll be what I have now that I'll grow. But yeah, I like them as side businesses at the moment, because as I say, I like the balance while the kids are young. Maybe when I have more time to give to them, I'd like to see them grow a bit more. But at the moment, it's quite low risk when you've no staff or anything. You've no one else's wages to pay.
No worries.
Yeah, you've very few overheads.
Who do you look to two questions. Who do you look to in the international stylists or in Ireland that you're like, awesome, they're really nailing it?
Ooh. This isn't in Ireland. There's so many Irish stylists that I obviously look to as well. But Ilaria Urbanati, I hope I'm saying her name right, is a menswear stylist, and she's Barry Keoghan she's doing at the moment, but she's doing a lot of the big A-list stars, and I think she's just nailing it. I think she's making people look at male fashion on the red carpet the last few awards
nobody
seasons.
Cared about.
Yeah, usually we might have a token male, one or two in the best dress, but now suddenly people are going, oh, and I think other male stylists are now having to come up a little bit and
bring it.
Not
like
just put them in a black tops.
Even.
Yeah, totally. Felicity Kay, I think, styles him. So there's a few, that's her in terms of that. And then in terms of business, Sarah Blakely, who's Spanx.
Yes, she's
amazing.
She's amazing.
And I love her attitude. I love her on Instagram.
She's amazing.
I just think she's brilliant. Yeah.
Who would you like to get your hands on?
Ooh.
Who's already killing it and hot to trot, but you just love to style them?
No, I think I'd need someone who's not killing it.
Okay. Okay, good.
So I've always said, she's kind of less relevant now, but I'd love to do Britney Spears.
Yeah.
She's such a beauty.
She's gorgeous, and she's a hot ass.
Yeah, and I just would love to see her like turn her style around. Take the extensions
Take the fucking cowboy boots off.
Yeah, she has a banging body. She's so beautiful and she's so deadly. I love her.
I don't get it either. It's awful. I don't know if she ever had anyone decent or what the sparkly Swarovski dress were for 20. I don't get it.
I know. Sad. But yeah, I think she's the one, even though she doesn't go to red carpets and stuff at the moment. But I'd love to,
But who do you emulate? Who do you go, I kind of have a vibe like her?
Oh, God. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I feel like I'll pick really obvious people if I think,
Like Sienna Miller. Like who's your off-duty? Like
Sienna
she's hot.
Miller's awesome, yeah. Who do I love? always love Olivia Palermo, but again, that's a bit of a bog standard answer.
But she's very finished. I find it all a bit too perfect now.
Yeah.
There's not much room for crazy or fun or sexy. It's always just perfect.
Yes.
I love Olivia Palermo, but the polish for me kind of kills me.
Yeah, she's too perfect.
She is too. Sorry to be rude.
I
about
bet
her.
I'll think of someone after, and now I can't. But yeah, it would probably be someone. Yeah, you're right, a little bit edgier. Or something.
Yeah, you're more edgy than Olivia Palermo.
Yeah,
she's quite corporate.
Yeah, but then I like her corporate. I think I'd more be inspired by her stuff for other people.
Okay.
I've found a few times now when I do actually dress corporates for things that I do look to her stuff and go, how would she, like, what would Olivia do with that to kind of polish people?
Do you love dressing women and making them feel good?
I love it.
Do you love it?
There's nothing I love more than when a woman at the end of a shoot goes, can I buy all that? That I'm like, yes. Yeah, when it's a success. And men. Sorry, it's not just women.
You are a brave ass woman. You had a baby in your house. Mm-hmm. You've spoken about this and you told me this. And I was like, yeah, I know, Justine, but I want to talk to you about it. So whatever. And I know that you've done it and people hear it and it's incredible. But it's not a throwaway. I had a baby at home. It's quite rare. It's much like our breastfeeding record in Ireland. It's rare, and I don't know whether it's because we're having babies older and we're scared of it, or it's just not the done thing, but it's much more done, I think, internationally. But it's a big deal. I remember thinking I wanted to have a water bath birth and being put off by stories, and as we know, we all know the stories. And I didn't go ahead with it, and I can't remember. Oh yes, because I'd had issues, and then it needed to be in the hospital. How did you come about making that decision? And tell us a bit about it.
So when I had my sister, who you know, a year before I had him, wanted a home birth, and I thought she was insane. I was like, that's so weird,
dangerous.
So I want to make sure people know I'm not saying it's unsafe. I thought that's what I was going, like, that's so risky, blah, blah, blah. But she's a total earth mama hippie. And I was like, there was so far, if you told me one day you will have a baby at home, I'd be like, unless that was by accident, like, there's no way I would. So anyway, unfortunately, she had to be transferred to hospital. And similarly, a friend also
But it all was fine with her?
All was fine, yeah, sorry. But she didn't happen to have the baby at home in the end. So a year later, I was having Harley, and like, I'd never considered it. I did do the community midwives, but like, and did hypnobirthing, but I was like, I will be going in, I'll be getting my epidural, whatever other drugs they want to give me, that's the way my birth will go. Went in, and as it happened, I had a really quick labour that I didn't get any drugs. Yeah. Well, I got gas and air.
Same as I had for my first. That's good.
So quick that my partner wasn't even there for the birth. Because it was COVID. So he wasn't allowed into 4 centimetres, and he arrived into the baby in my arms. So because that happened that way, I then was like, actually, I kind of loved like the recovery after a natural birth. And now I know I can do a natural birth. I was like, I don't think I'd need an epidural if I did it again. And then when I got pregnant again, I remember saying to him, I think I got really into natural birth and following people who are like, doing I feel like I'm in an echo chamber on Instagram. There's a lot of home births happening, but it's just down to who I follow. So I'd kind of said to Connor, look, this is something I'd love to do. Would you be totally freaked out because you've never even seen me give birth? He was like, totally up to you. So then once he'd kind of given the go ahead, I was like, maybe we'll do this. And got onto my home birth midwife, and she was so amazing. And then the whole pregnancy, I was like, no, I'm totally doing this. And yeah, as long as we're coming up on a year now, so he nearly went to the 2 weeks over. And if he had, I would have had to go in and get induced in hospital. And then I was raging because I was like, I'm so ready for the home birth. I'd mentally prepared.
So when did he come? What?
10 days after.
10 days after. Because quite late. Yeah. Tiring. Yeah. And then you went into natural labour at home.
Went into labour at home.
Did you have a team? You had a community midwife, you'd Connor?
Yes, so my home birth midwife, you have her the whole way through your pregnancy. So I knew her so well at that point. She was in my house nearly every day in the days leading up to it. And then she brings a second midwife once it gets near delivery. So that one is there for the baby and one is there for you. Yeah. And I had Connor.
And then you have a plan to get to hospital if necessary.
Yes, yeah. The HSE have already been out. They've like mapped out where an ambulance needs to pull in, like all of that stuff. But all was very straightforward.
Bath or on your like how's it done?
I was in the pool and everything.
Oh, there's a little pool, okay.
Yeah, we had that all blown up. That's up to you, obviously, if you want to. But I had that, and baby was not coming. I thought I was pushing in the pool. Got out. She told me she told me after I was only 4 centimetres when I thought I was pushing. And she told me I was 6, went into the toilet to try and dilate sitting on the toilet, and my baby came out.
No.
Yeah, within minutes in my bathroom. Yeah.
But did you obviously got off the loo in time to
stood up, and they were all in there with me, like, and stood up and stood back because they got me to, so he wouldn't be born in the toilet, and I was standing, and he came. So yeah, she caught him and passed him up through my legs, and yeah, then we got into bed together.
Pain?
Like, I won't say it's not painful, because when people say that, I'm like, I don't know what kind of
childbirth they have. You didn't have gas and air. You didn't have epidural.
Any, I had no pain relief at all this time. I had the winter flow, which is a little device you can breathe into.
Fine, so really painful, because we've all been there.
And yet, with the winter flow, because it is, you're breathing everything. I think I like shouted noise for the first time when the head was coming out. I didn't the whole labour. I just breathed into this thing.
So you kind of wonder, if you take out all the white coats.
Yeah.
And again, it's psychological, I don't know. But you take out the fear, you take out the people running around, and there's a lot of scariness that goes on sometimes it's not. And just that, it's like, it's intense. You wonder if some of that transcends. Like, you wonder if the being in your own place, yes, it's not a fucking chill out zone, it's sore. But having a little bit of assistance, you wonder if it takes a lot of the heat off.
100% does.
Yeah.
Like, there is a whole thing in hypnobirthing with the fear, pain, tension release, I think it's called. I hope I haven't misquoted that.
Yeah.
But it's to do with when your fear or the bright lights of the hospital, the noise, the doctor's going, the heart rate's dropping, blah, 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 that you tense up and then you are in pain. Whereas if you feel that contraction come on, and they call it surges, and you're not supposed to call them, you're never supposed to say pain or anything in hypnobirthing. But when you feel that, if you're breathing into a device and you're in a calm, candlelit area with your own classic music playing and everyone who is there to support you, it's a very different experience.
Sounds amazing.
Oh, the midwives in every contraction, when you finish, go, you're incredible.
Did you feel very emotional? Was it an emotional thing or more just chill and happy?
So chill.
You must have been proud, Justine. Come on.
I was, and I think any woman who gives birth,
we all just feel fucking badass, don't we? Like, I remember afterwards,
whatever way your birth goes, I think we all get that. I just said to my husband, I was like,
just never forget this. I know, fucking amazing.
And because Connor hadn't witnessed the first time, I felt, when all those men put up on Instagram, my wife is a superhero, blah blah. It's like. And the wife is usually in the car going, push it up. Yeah, probably.
Push it up.
Connor would never post anything on
Jason's
Instagram anyway.
He doesn't do
but
anything.
I was like, I don't expect you to post it, but do you think I'm a superhero? Because he didn't witness it. Do you think? And he was, of course I do, of course I do. And then after this one, he was like, he couldn't stop talking about how incredible I was. And I was like, see, you didn't know the first time. Because you didn't see.
They don't know. And they need to see, to be honest. I don't believe in them not seeing.
Whereas he was just like, I cannot believe you did that. Yeah. That is so amazing. So yeah, it was, I got there in the end.
And the recovery?
The recovery was fine because you get straight into bed. Like, well, they brought me to the shower and then they put you, baby, and Connor into bed and they leave. So you're instantly just in your home environment. They told me, don't put any clothes on that baby for 48 hours. He has to wear a nappy and put a blanket over him on your chest for the whole 2 days. Sorry. And then I just got to recover at home. I stayed in the bed for pretty much 2 weeks. Like, I did that whole 5 days in the bed, 5 days on the bed, 5 days beside the bed. I didn't commit to doing anything at all. So the recovery was actually fine.
Would you do it again?
I would do it again. Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. Well, if I had another baby, I'd do a home birth, like, hands down. But yeah, Connor needs to be convinced on a third baby, but I would do it again.
How do you parent, Justine? You, to me, are the epitome of good self-esteem, confident in your abilities, but not arrogant, calm, warm. You've got the attribute. Your sister had those attributes too. It's just a pretty cool chick.
Thanks.
Who knows her station, and you know what you give, and like, I've only seen you at things, but then I follow you, but like, I never feel there's an insecurity or a need for validation or an anxiety. You're just you.
Thanks.
How do you parent with those great traits?
I have to be really careful, and I'm really aware of it, of never, I can be bossy, like, as a person, right? And I don't want to ever make them what I want them to be. Do you know what I mean? So I'm really conscious of letting them be exactly who they are. Yeah, of controlling them, really. At the moment, and I think if you tell a child they are something, they can become that. So I don't tell him this, but my nearly 4-year-old is quite a shy kid. And it's something new to me. I'm so not used to that. I've never been a shy kid. Connor was never a shy kid. But you have to be really aware when you bring him to a social situation that he doesn't instantly
And I have a shy kid, and I'm very aware of me going, what, you so shy? I'm
so
very
you
aware.
Are going, there's your friends.
Get your shit together.
Totally,
yeah.
But I have to be like, he just needs a few minutes to sit by my side until he warms up, and then he'll go in and do it. So yeah, really letting him be who he is without saying, you're a shy kid. I don't want him to become that just because I'm telling him. And people can be shy when they're 4 and not when they're 7. And the same with what they're into. Like, I'm just really trying to let him find that without me being like, you'd love to play rugby, wouldn't you? Or you'd love to be into music or whatever, and just letting him.
But you're a boy mom, and you came from 3 girls, like Elaine
and a boy.
Jones.
We have a boy as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, we do.
But you're now a boy mom. How is that different? Is it not? Do you care?
I don't care at all. I mean, if I had a third...
But you find it different from the female energy, or is it easier?
Not yet, because I feel like they're not...
They're just babies.
Yeah, they're just babies, and babies are babies. And the same with toys. Oh God, my little almost 1-year-old was like adored this doll yesterday in the public health nurse. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, we need to give him dolls. Yeah. So I would have given the first one, and then he had no interest, so we just kind of put the dolls away. So like, yeah, letting them play with whatever they want. I'm very conscious, I was only saying this to Connor the other day, that if we are an all-boy household, if we never have a girl, that I want them to go to a mixed school, because I really don't want them to just be in an all-boy house and an all-boy school. I want them to make sure that girls are
feminine
their friends.
energy.
That I'm not the only girl in their life, and then it's girls they fancy when they're 12 or whatever. I want to make sure they have friends who are girls and understand that women.
I love that you said at the top, like I was like, here's your great attributes, and you're like, I don't want to be and I'm like, fucking love that you say you're bossy.
Oh, I am bossy. Yeah, no,
I wouldn't have known that of you, but I kind of love that. That's great.
Yeah.
I'm super bossy, but I don't think I am. I go home and I'm like running the show and then I'm like, God, I am bossy. I get shit. Well, I get shit done.
Yeah, I am bossy. And Connor doesn't mind that. I've managed to find a man who, it's not that he's a walkover, Jesus, he's bossy too. But his mum is a strong woman.
He's cool with that,
I think he's used to strong women and he's okay with me being
he's not trying
strong.
to change you.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I need to watch it though. I'd never want to be a controlling mom, for sure. Yeah. I want to make sure the kids get to be who they are.
What are you most afraid of in the parenting journey?
Oh God, so much. Phones terrify me. I've read this book, Raising Boys. I don't think Raising Girls one as well, which I actually would love to read anyway, just as a girl who was raised by someone. But with Raising Boys.
And you might have a third girl, or you might go and have a third boy.
Or actually, I just would be interested anyway in how we raise girls, even if I never have one.
I think it's a shit show raising girls. But anyway.
Yeah, but they talk about how early, say like, porn and stuff becomes a thing probably with both, but with boys particularly, like 10-year-olds and stuff. So that all terrifies me. I'm like, how is that in
But
6
Justine,
years?
I'm 40, right? If you think of my secondary school experience and how we're all like, oh, phones and porn, I would say the teens were going home watching videos. Like, I'd say it was still always in the zeitgeist.
They still had to get a pirate video, right?
No, they'd find one in their dad's collection. They'd go to a shop or get someone. Like, it was like getting drink. We're so shock factor, and I agree. It's more readily available and it's gross but there was always the bad side and have teens having to really.
I know. And I think the only way I'm going to be able to do it is to really talk to them about what porn is, and like from a young age, from when it's the age that they think, and explain that is like actors and that's entertainment and that's not real life. That's my biggest fear. My fear isn't them watching.
How they're going to get into sexual relationships with men or women and think that that's it, because it ain't.
Yeah, so that's my biggest fear, is them watching that and thinking it's normal. Not them watching it, because that's going to happen. It's teaching them that like that isn't the norm, because I think that could destroy. It is destroying, many people's attitude towards sex. So that's one. And then I guess just the phones in general and the apps and the everything. I think we're going to see a change in that though. I think the people who have teenagers currently are probably the worst because we haven't seen a change.
I think you're the only sister sledge on the whole, and I've interviewed 30, 40 people over the last few seasons who disagree with me. Where I've said it's cyclical, mark my words, they'll be fucking repulsed by all this horse shit, and they're going to be better than us. And they're like, no, I disagree. I'm like, no, watch this. I think everything's cyclical.
Or I think we're going to see a ban, I hope, that, that kind of thing. They're talking about no phones.
My daughter will say to me, get off your emails or get off your phone. Like, she just thinks it's hideous.
Yeah.
Now, will she get addicted? I don't know. But like,
one thing my 4-year-old though has started saying, which I'm like, this is just clearly the way I've been acting. If I said something like, oh, you used to like broccoli, he'll go, show me a picture. And I'm going,
show me a picture.
I don't have a picture of you watching, but he thinks everything that I've photographed and documented. So it'll be the most mundane thing that I'll say, you've done that before, or you did that when you were younger.
So
show me a picture. And I go, oh God, then I've taken too many pictures, or I'm documenting you too much.
Yeah, or Simone, you're correct. Simone will do, that was a great day. And she'll go, do you have a video, Mummy? I'm like, you're 3 years of age.
I know.
And no, I don't have a video.
But I probably have a video of most things. So I'm like.
Also, remember, Justine, you work for yourself. You are hustle. You're probably on phone emails. Not that you're addicted to it, but like, you remember that I could be in here all day on my phone for all they know. And then in the evening. So your kids might be just more aware of that. And that's okay too. It's how you run your business.
Yeah. And it's not, I'm trying really not to, like, I don't not share them on Instagram, but I don't share them as much at all, or I share them just to a close friends list. Yeah. It's not that I put them up anywhere, but I probably do document an awful lot. And that's just for myself. I think they slip away. You forget what their voice sounded like 3 months ago.
I think Simone's 1, and now I'm like, she's freaking 3. And I share sometimes, I'm sure it's grotesque, and I worry about. And then someone said the other day, oh, get over it. There's billions of kids in the world. We can't worry about every single kid being used for AI purposes or hacked. That is your kid. It's super proud. I love when I have a highlight thing and I'm like, that was a holiday.
I know.
Once it's not inappropriate. I definitely think with my 7-year-old, I'm not really showing her face. She's just kind of in the. But it's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, and even if they're just for my own records, I do document them, because I just think their voices change so quickly. The words they say, you go, what way did he used to pronounce that again? Like, and I used to try and write them down,
and the
like you said, this
and the crap.
Yeah, and you just forget, because I can't remember like my 4-year-old now being a 2-year-old. Really, it's crazy.
Oh my God, I wanted you on last season. I finally got you this season. I just think you're very special, and I know women are going to love listening to this story, and so positive.
Thank you so
much. Little
much.
ray of sunshine. Justine King, thank you for coming on, Birdie.
Thanks for having me.
Sponsored by Optimal Follow On. We believe that every feed is a gift. That's why we've dedicated over 50 years to breast milk research. Aptamil Follow-On Milk, your life, our science. Breastfeeding is best. Follow-On milk should be used as part of a mixed diet from 6 months. Talk to a health professional. If you like this episode, will you please rate it, subscribe and share it with others? This helps me get the guests that you want to hear.